We're talking about families divided by politics, and we're back with father and son Gary and Bryson, who say they're still arguing about their opposing political views even after the 2020 presidential election. And Gary says his son's conservative opinions have cost him family and friends, and even he had to distance himself. Now, I want to add another family member. Bryson's cousin Ed says he hasn't talked to Bryson in a year after they got into a political argument on social media.
Well, I didn't want it to go down the way it did. The evening that Bryson and I shared some words, I remember his father jumped in on the conversation on the social media that we were on, and he said, "Just let it go. You're not going to win this argument with Bryson." And I didn't want to let it go because I'd say for probably a year, we sat by quiet. At the end of the day, I do not believe he's a Trump supporter. No.
Well, you say you respect his freedom of speech, but not his combative attitude, because you say everything's argumentative. But if you really respect his right to think for himself, aren't you contradicting yourself?
When talking to Bryson, he seems to be combative.
Bryson posts his opinions on Facebook or on social media platforms, and then people decide themselves to comment with some subtle attacks on my page, and then they get mad when I fact check them. He told you I use facts, but then he also tried to make it seem like I'm doing it to attention seek. How do I know facts and spew facts, but also do it to attention seek? Also, he's leaving out more facts that I've always been popular. I've had songs on the radio where I'm from. I've always been popular. My dad tried to get me to come out, try to get me to not come out to be a Trump supporter. I risked more being coming out as a Trump supporter, and now that I'm being successful with my music, now they trying to, they use this for every black Trump supporter. They say they're doing it for attention. In reality, the truth, it's gonna sound harsh, I'm more informed than him.
If each side's got the right answer, why are we where we are?
I love Trump supporters because they're passionate. You remember Barack Obama said that they grab onto their Bibles and their guns? Well, what people don't understand is that those people will die for their Bibles and their guns for self-defense. But when you just made the statement about does policy really matter, if you go back and look at around the late 70s to early 80s, when Ronald Reagan cut the Pell Grant. But when Ronald Reagan came in and cut Pell Grant by like 65 to 85%, there were a lot of black mothers and black fathers in school trying to work their way out of the projects. At the same time that Ronald Reagan cut the Pell Grants, he was also working with the Contras to allow crack cocaine into those same poor communities where he stopped people from going to school. And those were during my developmental years. And this is what has colored and changed my idea about the Republican Party.
Okay, now hang on.
Now, I think
hold on. You're not going to put words in my mouth. I didn't say policies don't matter. I said over the last 100 years, each party has had an equal opportunity to shape this country.
Can I tell you the difference real quick?
Hey, so hold up, son. Don't interrupt me. You always trying to interrupt me. I want you to break your mouth and fix your ears.
Oh, my God. You've been talking for like 8 years already.
Stop talking. You always interrupting, son. Policy, who's in power, it does matter. Now, I kind of think that Trump is not a Republican. Trump is, he'll do any policy to support anybody that support him.
Well, hey, it's me, and thank you so much for watching. And while I have you, do you have a story or a question for me? If so, trust me, I want to hear from you. Click on the link in the description and tell me what in the world is going on. You just might end up right here on the show. And of course, don't forget to subscribe. Click that little red button below. You know you want to. What are you waiting for? Do it.